What is up, 49ers faithful? This is the second live show that we have done today. But breaking news just came out, just a few minutes ago, really. Mike McDaniels, it's now official, I am seeing, is gone to the Miami Dolphins. And so, we talked about it this morning on the show. If you listened live, that there's going to be a lot of coaching changes. But I said it was a 50-50 chance. It looks like I underplayed it just a little bit because he's gone. He is, in fact, gone. And this is good news and bad news, okay? One, it's good news that you are part of a franchise that continues. Now, this is back-to-back seasons that you have lost coordinators to head coaching positions. The Kyle Shanahan coaching tree continues to grow. You always want good things for your people, right? Selfishly, and here's where the place is, right? Selfishly, you look at this and you're like, man, we lost another good coach. That is 100% factually correct. Positive spin. We were so good for so many, we were so good and so efficient that our guys are getting sniped by other places. And so it's rough. It's bittersweet. But again, you always want what's best for your people. This is good for the 49ers long term. Coaches like Anthony Lynn, who we just saw, will choose to come be a part of this because of what it means for their future. And so you take that, and what does that mean? Okay, what's the future? I see a lot of people are talking about, moving on from, Anthony Lynn going to be the new HC. I don't think he's going to be. I don't think he's going to be the new OC. I'm sorry. I really don't think that's going to be the case. When asked earlier what, who would be the guy stepping up, Kyle Shanahan mentioned Bobby Slowick, who has been with the 49ers for 8 years now. He's the offensive passing game specialist, which that was LaFleur's job before he took off, right, to the Jets. And so then you had the run game specialist, Mike McDaniel, step up. Bobby Slowick's been around for a minute. And again, one of the promising themes of this whole thing is, look, he was with Kyle Shanahan. Bobby Slowick, who I expect to be the next offensive coordinator, was with Kyle Shanahan in Washington. Then started as a video assistant in 2010. That's where he got his first start. He was a video guy. like that's where he went. Now his brother is a scout for the 49ers. Talking about Bobby Slowick here, who is my prediction for new OC. Could be wrong, could be Anthony Lynn. I would be very, very happy for either one. But previously, again, Kyle Shanahan mentioned Bobby Slowick's name when the rumors first started with Mike McDaniel going to Miami. So what does that look like, right? What does that look like? Carlos, I see you. Does Mike McDaniel even call plays? He does not, but he's an integral part of this. And so, yeah, Kyle Shanahan completely controls plays. There's no doubt about that. But there's a lot more that goes to it. And I wouldn't be surprised if Mike McDaniel doesn't call plays in Miami. Everybody wants to. And again, I've been an assistant coach. And I've been one, I've worked my way up from, D-line linebackers to DC to head coach. And I've been a part of calling offensive plays, defensive plays. I've been on the offense and defensive side of the ball. It changes everything. You can have a huge impact as a coach, no doubt about it, as a position coach, as, just an assistant coach, as whatever, a huge impact. But when you call plays, that's your fingerprint on that entire team. And it means a lot. Not only, there's only 32 head coaches in the NFL, so, that's a very exclusive club to be a part of, and he deserves it. I played this clip earlier today, if you listened to the previous one, but I want to play it again because I think it's paramount. And this is Kyle Shanahan talking about why Mike McDaniel deserves a head coaching job.
He gets the head coach job there. I'll be very happy for him and his family. Obviously, don't want to lose Mike. Mike, I think people made a bigger deal out of Mike this year because he had the title all by himself. But Mike did the same thing this year. He's been doing the last 4 or 5 years. So Mike's always been such a big part of what we do here. He always focuses on the run game. That's his area of expertise. But Mike helps me in all aspects of offense. We brought Bobby Slowick in, who kind of took a little bit of LaFleur's role. But that didn't change what we do with Mike. And Mike's been He was just as big in 2019 as he is this year. So Mike's always been good at what he does. He always will be, and he deserves to get some of these opportunities people are talking about.
Now, what does this mean for the NFL draft? Well, there's some gray area, and I'm seeing people saying, yeah, he again, this is speculation. He's a minority hire, and this is the third minority hire that the 49ers have had in just 2 years, right? Mayhew went to Washington. Salo went to the Jets, because it has to be a head coach or a general manager. People kept asking me, like, do we get compensation picks for Richard Hightower? I do not believe so. Has to be a head coaching hire or a general manager hire. And so Hightower does not classify as that. Now, as the rule states, this is new, because when they first wrote the rule, and I think it's a good rule, by the way, especially whenever you look at, there's one black head coach for 32, despite 75% of the players in the NFL being black. I think that's an issue, but I don't want to get into that. Something needs to be done. There's no doubt about that. But here's what I'm, for this podcast, I think is more important a topic to discuss. When the rule was originally written last year, if you assistant coach went to be a head coach or GM, you get 2 third-round compensation picks. Now, compensation picks go at the end of the third round, okay? But it's got caveats in there. Number 2, if you have 2 coaches leave, instead of 2 third-round picks this year, 2 third-round picks next year, no. They just add an additional one the following year, that third year, which we did last year, okay? So we had our comp pick third round last year. We have it this year. We trade that away for Trey Lance, and we get another comp pick, third round pick next year. Now, the question is, because this has never happened in the NFL, it's a new rule. 49ers are the first ones to accomplish this. Do we double down again? So do we get an extra comp pick this year, or do we just add that extra year? That's one of those things that's going to be up for debate. We'll have to see what that is. Matt Mayoko, who just tweeted out, now the 49ers will have, an additional compensation pick in the third round this year. I'm not so sure that's going to be the way that flexes out, because, again, the bylaw, the little subcategory in the text said it will extend to a third year. So does this just mean we get one more in 2024, so it extends it 1 year further, or does it just start fresh every single year? I don't know. I hope it starts fresh, and this hire means the 49ers would get a comp pick, an additional this year's draft, which would give us 9 draft picks, and then an additional one for 2023. That would be ideal. That's best case for the 49ers. Now, will that take place? I don't know. Now, if we want to stick with this theme, perhaps it's a little bit more chess than checkers to name Anthony Lynn your offensive coordinator, so that if he does get, poached somewhere else, then eventually you will get those picks as well. Now, again, another thing to keep in mind is I read this morning before I went live this morning. The coach has to be with the team for a minimum of 2 years. So let's say Anthony Lynn becomes the offensive coordinator. He gets a head coaching job next year. We would not qualify for those compensation picks. They have to be on staff for 2 years. So Anthony Lynn would have to be with the 49ers for this year plus next year, then get hired as head coach to qualify for that. And understand this, it's very rare. It's beyond rare that this happens. The 49ers, again, to the spoils of being so innovative and bringing in so many young, top personality, top character people that everybody wants to hire. One, they're part of the Shanahan tree, which is important. But 2, Robert Saleh is going to get a head coach on his own. He had nothing to do with Kyle Shanahan offense. He had nothing to do with any of that. So he got it because he's a stud. Robert's, D'Amico Ryan's 100% going to fall in that category as well. We're lucky we didn't lose him this year. We will probably next year if the 49ers put up another top 10 defensive year. Now, McDaniel's gone. LaFleur's been gone. Scangarello, you remember, just 3 years ago, he was hired as the Broncos OC. He didn't do well. He's back now as a quarterback coach. We are building, I say we, the 49ers, Kyle Shanahan is building quite the coaching tree. And again, back to the question, does he even call plays? He does not. What do we miss? What's the big loss for the 49ers? Architect, kind of engineering a lot of these plays. That's what he did. And having that, very familiar voice in the head of Kyle Shanahan on the sidelines, that's what you miss. And, he worked directly with the quarterbacks and running backs and all the things. This is a loss, but it's not all negative. Tommy, thank you for the gift. I love it. He says, low toter is God he. I love it, man. He's an interesting guy. Mike McDaniels, his interview were great, but very interesting, very different. He's just a weird cat. And Miami's getting a good one. And, I've got a handful of Miami friends that are Dolphins fans, and my phone's already been blowing up. Tell me about this guy. Tell me about this guy. My assumption is I'll probably jump on a couple Miami podcasts this week and kind of promote what he's about because he's a stud. Very, very happy for this guy. Ice Cold, he says, man, all this talk about great coaches we've had and their impact is just making me love the Niners even more. We're spoiled. We are spoiled. That the amount of quality coaches that have gone through here that are so young. And now we got this guy, Bobby Slowick, or maybe you bring somebody else in. That's a possibility too. You're allowed to hire other coaches outside of your current coaching staff. That's just not usually the way in which Coach Shanahan does things. He wants his guys. Very important. Very important. So we'll have to see what happens there. Maybe you could bring somebody back. I don't know. I don't think you promote Scangrello. I think it'd be Bobby Slowick or Anthony Lynn. And I don't think either one of them is a bad decision because Kyle Shanahan still has his hand on the trigger. Kyle Shanahan's still calling plays. This is still Kyle Shanahan's show. And this is one of the differences and one of the reasons why you see so many prominent head coaches being offensive guys. Because if you get your offensive guy, you're fine. Let's say you have the best defensive coach in the world like Mike Tomlin or Belichick or whatever. You're still recycling OCs and your offense is changing consistently, which is problematic, right? So that's an issue there. But I'm telling you right now, we should be happy. One, we're getting more picks. Whether that's this year or 2 years from now, we're getting at least one additional third rounder, possibly two. I'm really crossing my fingers that that's going to count for this year. But again, those things are up for debate and try to figure that out. Now, will Mike McDaniel poach and pull some of these offensive coaches from the 49ers staff? Usually, Kyle Shanahan lets them have one. You can take one, and Shanahan, he's pretty territorial whenever it comes to this. So we'll have to see what that looks like. We'll have to see. But again, this offensive coordinator position, in my opinion, again, I'm not very smart. I'm kind of smart. It's going to come down to Bobby Slowick or Anthony Lynn. And I think probably going to be Bobby Slowick if I had to bet. But neither one of them are wrong. I'll be happy with either one. I doubt they bring anybody additionally in as an OC. They will hire new coaches. We still need a tight end coach. Now we need somebody will get promoted to the offensive run game specialist. That might be Lynn, but he's going to be, assistant head coach. So that's almost a downgrade there. So probably two offensive coaches coming in, possibly three if Mike McDaniel pulls somebody from his staff. Because whenever you're in a head coaching interview, here's the first question they ask you. Who are your coordinators going to be? What's your plan for defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator? Give us a list, 3 to 4 guys. What's your plan? A, B, C, and D. Let's go through this because we want to see how this coaching staff and kind of the integrity of this team is going to be built out. Also, does this provide for an opportunity? This could be huge for Jimmy Garoppolo to go to Miami. Possibly. Now, they have Tua, who I think is the most carbon copy of Jimmy G in the world. They're very, very similar. But this does increase a little bit more of a trade market for Jimmy Garoppolo. And that is a positive. I love it, man. I love it. Appreciate you guys. I just wanted to jump on here and I'm going to start doing more of these. And so you guys obviously are with me on YouTube. Hit that notification bell. We're going to do this more often. And again, if you haven't yet, get out your freaking calendars. Come party with us in Vegas for the NFL draft. We're going to be throwing the best party ever for 49ers fans. Hang out with Fred Warner and Elijah Mitchell. All day one of the draft is going to be incredible. Broadcasting live. A lot of 49ers personalities coming out. And again, get your tickets at 49ersrushroadtrip.com, 49ersrushroadtrip.com. Come party with us in Vegas. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be a lot of fun. But, man, this offseason, here we are, right? It's not going anywhere. This is going to continue to be, and I know we don't have a first-round pick currently. That could change. We're going to be busy. It's going to be a busy offseason with a lot of transition pieces, not only the quarterback Trey Lance, but now coaching pieces. This is fun. We are the days of our lives. Look at that old reference of the NFL. We are entertaining as hell, and I love it, man. So Mike McDaniel, congratulations. Be proud. Be happy. Congratulate. Obviously, our instant reaction is like, oh, man, be happy for yours. Be happy for the people around you, your team that promote and move on. One of the best lessons in life I've ever learned is when somebody else makes money, they're not taking it from me. Be happy in other people's success, and I promise you, it's going to make a difference in your life. Jealousy is no place. That's not going to bring you anything you want to be. So be happy. It's a good thing that Mike McDaniels got promoted. This is a positive. Appreciate you guys. We got a lot more content coming your way this week. And again, hit that subscribe and notification bell on YouTube. And as always, congrats to Mike Daniels, and stay strong, faithful.